trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. A live look outside with our sky cam to start things off today. It is a perfectly gorgeous day, and Kelly has our forecast. She also has the latest on drought conditions just out today, Kelly.
Yeah, they update on Thursdays, so we have the latest numbers. You need to consider something. Even though we had yesterday morning early started off with some rather heavy rain areas that rumbled across the south coast. Those are not factored into what you're seeing here. This is as of the 30th, so as of Tuesday. It doesn't include any data from yesterday. So what we have is improvement. So some good news for the central portion of our corner of southern New England. But we are still finding some extreme drought conditions. Those are the areas in red, and the severe drought is still in place. And there's something that both of these have in common, some of the same conditions. And that includes some farms that are now going to be put at risk. So some local agriculture will be suffering because of extreme drought conditions. Shallower dug wells should start to run dry because of extreme drought conditions. You get the idea. We're also seeing reduced river flow, and that would also result in warming of local rivers. And you should know one more thing. It is very dry out there right now, and it will be for the next 3 days. As a result, whenever we kick up any breezes, it puts us in a particular risk for the expansion of brush fires. And this is the case for today. So now through 8 p.m., because it is so dry out there, we do have an elevated risk of fire weather. In other words, brush fires could start quickly and be difficult to contain and spread quickly as well. We have our latest tropical storm. I don't mean to veer into another territory here, but we do need to talk about Tropical Storm Danielle, and I'll have that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Doreen?
All right, Kelly, thank you. Our other top story today, the first day flock cameras are reading license plates of cars around Providence. Police say the automatic license plate readers will help solve crime in the city, as well as preventing it, too. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis is live in Providence. He has more on this new technology officially launched in the capital city. Yanni?
Yeah, Doreen, well, cameras like this one right over my shoulder over here are located in hot spots throughout the city that police say are high areas of crime. And the way that these cameras work, just to note, is they are different than most red light or speed cameras across the city of Providence. The way that they work is that whenever a car drives by these cameras, it automatically reads their license plate. And if the car is suspected or part of any part of a crime that police may suspect, it automatically pings that license plate and sends it to the police department, letting them know their location.
We're excited about it because it's going to solve a lot of crime for us, and hopefully, and more importantly, it'll prevent crime.
25 flock cameras now reading the license plates of all cars that pass by them. The cameras part of a one-year pilot program between the police department and flock, and are located across the city in areas police call, quote, hot spots for crime in hope of lowering crime rates in the city.
It would be great for us to have safer environments, safer roads, and I hope this is a good way for us to do that.
But not everyone is on board with this added security.
I am glad that they are, trying to address crime. Obviously, that's a good thing. I worry about the ways that this could be used.
The ACLU of Rhode Island among the many who question how these cameras could be used. In a statement released after the announcement of the camera's installation, the organization called the cameras incredibly invasive, saying the city introduced the program without input. Locals who spoke with ABC6 following the cameras going live this morning agreed with their concerns.
My instinct is to say there's already so much surveillance already. This seems like just another step in that direction.
The automatic license plate reading cameras turned on ahead of a busy Labor Day weekend where there will be increased traffic on roads. And Commissioner Perry noting they can make an immediate impact over the holiday weekend, tracking any drunk drivers and hit and runs that may happen.
These flock cameras may capture your license plate and provide a lead to law enforcement so we can hold you accountable if you flee, the scene of a crash.
The police department has said that they will not share any of the data that is collected through these cameras with any other third parties, only with other law enforcement agencies. And they also tell us that during this one-year pilot program, the flock systems are free to the city. We're live in Providence. Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And new at noon today, Providence police identifying the suspect in Wednesday morning shooting in Providence. 19-year-old Raymond Simmons accused of shooting a man in his 30s in the neck. That man listed in critical condition. Simmons' arrest caught on police body camera footage as he took off from officers, leading to a chase and eventual arrest. And a break in a Fall River cold case that dates back 17 years. The district attorney's office identifying a man's body that was found in the landfill site on Airport Road back in 2005. The remains determined to belong to Leon Brown from Boston, who was 41 years old at the time of his death. He had multiple sclerosis and had difficulty walking. They were able to ID him using advanced fingerprint techniques. Now they're investigating the case as a suspicious death. And now to our continuing coverage of students heading back to school. A faulty fire alarm backup caused a delay in opening the new Winters Elementary School in Pawtucket. It was set to open yesterday along with the rest of the city's schools, but parents learned Tuesday night that it would not because of a failed inspection. The school will do another test on the backup battery on Saturday. The first day is now set for next Tuesday, as long as everything is up to code. There are new statistics showing the effect COVID has had on our kids' education. The National Center for Education Statistics says math and reading scores for 9-year-olds in the U.S. fell drastically since 2020. This is the first national report to compare student achievement from before and after the start of the pandemic. Overall math scores dropped 7 points, while reading scores are down 5 points. This marks the largest decline in reading since 1990 and the first time math scores have ever went down. And new students at URI started moving in today. There are 3,300 first-year students moving in over the next 2 days. 500 transfer students will also arrive on campus. The president of the university on hand to greet the new students. Upperclassmen move in over the weekend. And now to new details on the MBTA. The FTA releasing its report on safety and management concerns at the transportation hub. The report finding the MBTA's focus on long-term projects came at the expense of day-to-day operations. That resulted in not enough workers, training, or safeguards. The report highlighted the MBTA shifting $500 million from its operating budget to the capital budget, focusing on investments rather than the MBTA's aging infrastructure. And now to today's political news. Rhode Island Congressman David Cicilline in Rhode Island to promote his new book tonight. Cicilline will sign copies of House on Fire at Charter Bookstore in Newport. The book talks about the January 6th riots and Cicilline's involvement as a manager and prosecutor in Donald Trump's second impeachment. Cicilline says the purpose of his book is to outline the path forward from the changes Trump made to Republican and American politics.
This is a president who has engaged in really lawless behavior. And what we have is a Republican Party that has stood by him no matter what, that have fabricated excuses for him, that are devoted to the cult of Trumpism. This is the classic definition of authoritarianism and of fascism.
The book signing tonight is at 6 o'clock, and the book's on sale now. It was published Tuesday. And President Biden will be addressing the nation tonight, his primetime speech given at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. The White House says he will focus on the continued battle for the soul of the nation and will lay out how America's standing in the world and its democracy are at stake. Tonight's speech comes as Biden is ramping up his travel schedule in the closing months of the midterm elections. And checking in now on your holiday weekend travel, AAA says slow down. Its data shows that traffic deaths continue to surge ahead of Labor Day weekend. Police officials say drinking is linked to many of those crashes during summertime or speeding. State police also pointed to the increased availability of rideshare services as a powerful reason not to drink and drive. AAA's data showed crash deaths falling around 2011, but then they went back up.
Way up from Narragansett, I set my cruise control for 5 minutes at 65 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I didn't pass anybody, and everybody, without exception, passed me. And it just kind of leads to the fact that increasingly, speed is an issue.
The DOT says typically there is at least one traffic death on Labor Day weekend in the Ocean State. But in the last 5 years, there were 2 Labor Day weekends that saw 3 deaths each. So to come here on ABC6 News at noon, getting you ready for Election Day. Massachusetts voters head to the polls to pick the Republican nominee for governor Tuesday. We'll break down that race. And a familiar face back on the national political stage, the results of Alaska's congressional race in Sarah Palin's attempt to head to D.C. Your voice, your vote, and Sarah Palin's political comeback won't be headed to Washington. Democrat Mary Peltola beat Palin to win the congressional race to replace late Republican Congressman Don Young in Alaska. Peltola, the first Alaska native to go to Congress, will only serve for a few months, the remainder of Young's term. Palin will have another chance to snag the seat for a full term in November's election.
We have just begun, and it's a fight for what is right for Alaska and for our nation. And I do repeat that you don't need a title, you don't need an office to make a difference. So we're going to get out there using whatever tools and forums and formats that we have to fight for what's right.
Elections in Alaska are conducted largely by mail because the state is so large. This was the first time ranked choice voting was used in the state. And the Massachusetts primary is set for next Tuesday, September 6th. And in the race for governor of Massachusetts, all eyes are on the Republican primary. Former Massachusetts State Rep Jeff Deal is running against entrepreneur Chris Doughty. As you know, Governor Baker decided not to run at the beginning of the year. The winner of the Republican primary will face Maura Healey in the general election in November. If you'd like to learn more about the upcoming elections or read more about the candidates, we have an election guide up on our website. That's abc6.com. And still to come here on the news at noon, we're going to check in with Kelly for more on that holiday weekend forecast right after this.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Kelly Bates.
Hey, good afternoon, my friends. We have so much that we need to talk about. First of all, this is a wicked awesome afternoon in progress. It's so much more comfortable than the weather that we had to go through the past several days, and temperatures are right on the button for seasonable for September 1. Yeah, a new month. We also have temperatures across the region that are on the verge of 80 or at 80. We have hit 80 in New Bedford. We're almost there here in the capital city. We have 78 in Newport and also into Westerly. 76 right now for Smithfield. We're matching that one out on Block Island. So pretty uniform temperatures across the region. This is really the belle of the ball right here. The reason everything is so pleasant, the fact that our dew points are down, not only into the 50s, but we're seeing them in the 40s too, as we look out towards the New Bedford area. This also has another side to it. Because the dew points are so low and temperatures are racing toward 80, it means our relative humidity is going to drop this afternoon to about 35%. When you have humidity, relative humidity that low, and you also bring in a wind like we're seeing out there with occasional gusts greater than 20 miles per hour, it means that any brush fires that start can spread quickly and be very difficult to contain. So we have what's called a fire weather. We're aware of that for today. And that means, again, outside burning really discouraged today because, again, it's going to be very hard to keep control of anything on a day like today. High pressure is moving in to take charge. It's back here. This is our main weather driver for the Northeast. And you'll notice because it is back here and because it is so large, it's going to occupy a lot of our time. Not only today, but we're going to get tomorrow and Saturday and even a good dose of Sunday out of this area of high pressure before we get into something new. So our future cast shows, well, a whole lot of nothing, but a lot of nice nothing. As long as our area of high pressure is in charge, we get the sunshine, we get the dry conditions, but it will be moving by us as we go into the weekend, and that will turn our wind direction to southwesterly for the second half of the weekend, Sunday. And so we will, as a result, see a boost in humidity, and then this guy comes in, this front back here, and that will give us a chance of picking up some showers or perhaps even some thunderstorms. But I think if we're going to see anything on Sunday, it's a 30% chance of showers. So our muggy factor shows us a lot of cool stuff. First of all, comfortable conditions right through Saturday. And then as we get on the backside of that high, pump in the humidity for Sunday, we see the muggy start to really roll in. And they're going to be with us for the holiday on Monday as well. So we are looking in the tropics because we have our latest tropical storm. Meet Danielle, our fourth named storm of the season, of course. It is expected to continue to develop and within the next 48 hours has the potential of coming up to Category 1 hurricane strength. I do have the path turned on. It's just not expected to go anywhere. Now, that's not the only system we're watching. Here, by the way, is Danielle, courtesy of our tropical satellite. As we go to the south, we've got not one, but two other areas of low pressure. One here and one here that we're keeping an eye on. This one here is our next one that has the potential for development, about a 60% chance of seeing that one come into fruition. So here are the other names on the list. We could be looking at Earl or Fiona. It is all going to depend on what happens in the next 48 hours. And that's what this is showing us, the potential of development in the next 24 to 48 hours. Again, that's the one that we're going to be keeping an eye on. So our forecast for today, lots of sunshine, comfortable humidity levels, looking for a high around 82. Winds out of the northwest at 5 to 15 miles per hour with occasional higher gusts out there. So please keep that in mind. Overnight tonight, clear skies, lows will be dropping into the 50s. It's going to be super pleasant if you want to sleep with the window open and perhaps let Mother Nature cool your room. Temperatures as we look into the week ahead do spike on Sunday as we bring in that air from the southwest along with the humidity. So it's going to excuse me, it's going to feel a little bit warmer than the 85 there. Chance of showers late Sunday lasting into Monday. Doreen?
Wow, what a holiday weekend, Kelly. Thank you. Still to come here on ABC6 News at noon, the tennis thriller Serena Williams proving she is the GOAT in front of a star-studded U.S. Open crowd. Serena Williams serving up a major upset and once again inspiring her fans during her farewell tournament. The 40-year-old overpowered the #2 tennis player in the world last night, advancing to the third round at the U.S. Open. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
A wild night for Serena Williams as she shocks the tennis world, surviving the second round of the U.S. Open and extending her farewell tour.
I'm loving this crowd, and oh my goodness, it's really fantastic. So there's still a little left in me. We'll see we'll see.
Despite entering the tournament ranked 605th, Serena outlasting the world's #2 ranked player, Anett Kontaveit. The pair going head-to-head.
That's a good.
And shot for shot.
And just keeping Serena on the defensive.
During 3 stressful sets, Serena serving up a decisive defeat in the first set, but losing momentum after multiple unforced errors in the second.
Is always dangerous for her opponent.
Kontaveit was favored, but Serena had the support of the crowd.
Serena wanted to calm them down. It's not fair to Kontaveit.
Celebrities and sports stars cramming into Arthur Ashe Stadium to cheer her on. Tiger Woods among the fans, fully invested in the stressful set.
Tiger, so happy to be seeing this.
But it was the nail-biter finish that had fans out of their seats. The comeback queen finishing off the match with a heart-racing rally, taking the set and sealing her win with her signature twirl.
Serena moves on to the third round Friday when she'll face an Australian player ranked 46. But first, Serena takes the court tonight with her sister Venus for the doubles competition. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
And still to come here at noon, we're going to check in with Kelly for another look at that afternoon forecast. Stay with us. Welcome back, and wow, just wow, Kelly. Check out this unique piece of jewelry that is up for auction. Sotheby's is auctioning off the Williamson Pink Star Diamond. Ooh. It's considered among the rarest of all gemstones. Officials describe the diamond as a fancy, vivid pink, weighing in at just over 11 carats, which is bigger than most diamonds of that color. It's expected to bring in at least $21 million.
Wow.
It's gorgeous, isn't
just
it?
Wow. Yeah.
Just wow, right?
Right?
There was no other way to describe that.
Holy cow.
Can you imagine $21 million on your hand?
No.
Yeah.
For a rock?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go figure.
Yeah. You get sunscreen stuck in it.
Yeah, right.
Face lotion.
You're making a meatloaf.
I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. Those are the kind of people that buy pink diamonds.
Yes.
Yep.
We've got a lot of sunshine to finish out this beautiful day, and we're looking to repeat this gorgeous pattern for the next couple of days. Sunday's actually looking mainly dry too, and mostly sunny, but there is a chance of a late day shower.
All right, Kelly, thank you. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues at 4. Have a great day.